We're rolling.
Okay,
I thought you were going to say something.
I wasn't.
Okay, great.
Don't-
Fantastic.
I don't know why you thought I was.
I thought you wanted to be in the hosting mood. I can be in the hosting mood tonight. That's fine. This is the We Trying channel of Nerdy by Nature Productions. That's Leroy and Michael. You know our faces by now. We're getting some people out there. People know who we are. You know what we do. We react to stuff. We talk about games, pop culture, all that good stuff. Lots of trailers coming out. Mr. Comic Book Man, are these trailers coming out because of a comic convention or what? Why are all these trailers coming out so soon?
Let's talked about the video game awards, man.
Yeah, but what is this? Is the boys? Why does that? What does that do with the video game awards?
Remember, a lot of stuff premieres during the video game awards because that's the audience, the demographic they're trying to reach. If you look at all the trailers that have dropped, whether it's Fallout, whether it's this is the demographic that's going to watch your stuff.
Okay.
So if you think about it, and if you remember correctly, your big holiday movies are coming out. So a lot of these trailers will probably precede your movie dropping. So you have Aquaman. What's another big
Man, I
holiday movie
forgot
that's
that movie
coming
was
out?
coming out.
Silent Night just dropped this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think of something else. Uh, Netflix's movie, Rebel Moon, Apple's movie. What was the Apple movie? Not Napoleon, but there was another movie, an Apple movie that's supposed to be dropping soon. Um,
Okay.
you know they do that in theaters, and then it comes to
Mm-hmm.
Netflix. Um, uh, so yeah, so you got a bunch of stuff that's going to drop, and I'm quite sure you're going to see all of these during the video game awards.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know what that deal is that Jeff Keighley has, but I'm quite sure that some of these will play then. So
Okay. Cool. All right. I mean, let's get into it. The Boys season 4. You haven't watched Gen V yet, right?
no,
No. Okay. Man, that's
is
a
it
good.
is it? But I thought is it Gen V or Gen 5? Is it V for
I mean,
the company
it's
name or is it?
well, the compound is V, right?
Yeah, Compound V. But I wasn't sure if the V stood for five, Generation 5, or is it Gen V before because it's Compound V.
I assumed it was Gen V for compound V.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wondering.
But the great spin-off show that's been approved for a second season. That has a lot of tie-ins into the main show, which is nice. So season 4, Homelander being more of a unhinged person, an unhinged Superman. Let's see what we got. You ready? I guess that was a yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Rome, Greece. All democracies fail because people are fucking stupid. But if you crush the masses, who builds your monuments? Who tongues your taint?
Oh God.
The people will tear it apart themselves. You just gotta nudge them a little. Then you get to swoop in, be the one saving it,
Like Caesar.
like Caesar.
Don't worry. If there's hell below. Oh, hell.
Who wants their balls crushed?
Your team. What's your code name again?
The boys.
Who came up with that shit?
Sure. He's covered in viscera. Yeah, sure. Why not? Well, huh. I am tired of this show being so. It was fun when the show first premiered. in season one, and it seemed like, oh, wouldn't it be crazy if this happened? And then as more time happened, it seemed like the world was really imitating what The Boys was doing in real life. And I don't know how to feel about that.
You think that the real life is imitating the boys, or the boys are just getting the world right the way it is?
I mean, however you want to call it, either way, whatever you want to say, that's fine. Either way, it's just like, man, this stuff just hits too close to home, and you kind of want to be a little bit like, oh yeah, this is a fun little farce and a satire, but like, no, this stuff seems just like, yeah, this could
For
happen.
real? It's a little too close to
Yeah.
It's a little too close to home for you.
Minus the superpowers that we don't
Um,
know people may or may not have. I mean, this stuff seems pretty accurate.
um, Now you see why I didn't watch The Man in the High Castle and what was the Women Are Property show that everybody loved?
Handmaid's Tale.
Um, yes, why I didn't watch any of those.
Hmm.
I didn't need that in my life. But this, I'm kind of like I'm too far in. I got to see how this ends. Is it like it's too far for me to get off this train? And
Yeah,
I do enjoy the characters. So
yeah.
I
Everybody's great, and it's like even Homelander, Anthony Starr. I think that's his name. He does a great job portraying Homelander. I mean,
oh yeah, I mean
everybody is. I'm invested in everybody. The villains, the good guys, everybody.
as a fascist Superman, he does a very good job.
Right. Yeah, as a fascist. Yeah. But it is
Uh,
just an intense show, and to see this whole thing of Starlight's people versus Homelander's people for a possible. Do you think it's like an election maybe to run the head of the seven?
I wonder if that's. I don't know what they're gunning for. My only question is, how bad is it going to get?
Hmm.
Because Giancarlo
Esposito.
Esposito's
Hmm.
character seemed to be the only person who could keep Homelander in line.
Yeah.
He seemed to be the only person who could keep Homelander, I guess, um, in check. And it wasn't interesting. And I personally wish he would come back because I enjoyed the pairing.
Hmm.
But here's the problem is the woman we just saw. I'm trying to remember her name. Who plays Victoria Newman?
The AOC.
Claudia. Yeah, the AOC of this.
Yeah.
Claudia Dumit. I guess that's her real name. But Victoria Newman, who's looks like she's going to be on the ticket to run for president. Um, she like I don't know, man. Like it really it almost seems like this show is almost priming us for the bad guys to win.
I mean,
And that and that the boys and that so it's not the same. It's not the same. But this show reminds me, so you are old enough to remember when V came out, that miniseries.
the aliens in human
Uh,
bodies. Yeah.
so so not in human bodies, they just put human skin on.
Okay.
Um, so they were reptilian people with just human skin, like skin on. This show reminds me kind of that show, and let me explain why. In V, the visitors showed up. They were like, "All we need is water. We'll give you all this technology, and you help us, and we help you." That kind of thing.
Hmm.
And the visitors set themselves up as these great people,
Benevolent
kind of like
people.
this
Yeah.
benevolent people, but not just benevolent. Like, hey, we're we're just like you, and but just a little different. And they use their influence and their power to insert themselves in in different facets of government, and basically they were able to undermine our government and basically take over.
Hmm.
And then the show V after the miniseries was how do we this underground group of rebels trying to stop the visitors from taking over and using us as goddamn cattle. It kind of seems The Boys and Vought is kind of the same way, whereas it started out as like this, they seemed like this great company that was here to help us and had all these dirty secrets, and little by little they're taking over, and now you realize, oh wow, they're not as great as they seem to be. And on top of that, there's a small faction of people fighting them who look like the bad guys to the average everyday humans, when really they're the good guys. And the propaganda machine paints the revolutionaries or the rebels as the bad guys. And it's like, in the end, if I remember, because we won supposedly, but it almost seems like we're setting up for this whole idea of this subversive force, and we're not going to win, and the show's going to end with like Homelander being just in charge, and the world's on fire, and everybody's trying to fight.
Question for you:
And
did you finish the comic series or no?
no, I didn't.
Okay, because I was
I
going to
didn't.
ask you. At this point, has the show kind of veered off from the comics?
See, that's why the one cool thing about the comics that I did not. So I read up until Soldier Boy.
Hmm.
I read up until they got to Soldier Boy, and I was like, no, was it Soldier Boy? No, Stormlight.
Okay.
I read up to Stormlight. I dropped in for like Soldier Boy and like read a couple of issues, but I didn't finish it because honestly, like you said, it was just too violent. Not like violence. It's just like I'm not a person who screams at it, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. And I started reading other things. No offense to Garth Ennis, but Derek Robinson's art is freaking amazing. And let me tell you, the show mimics that dude's art style. Like how you see him covered in blood and like the guts being poured out. That's Derek Robinson, man. He does a very good job.
Okay.
And so I don't know how this is going to shake out, but I get this feeling like, oh, we're fucked.
It would be interesting if, and I don't know how many more seasons this show's going to do. I don't think they haven't said this is the last season, right? They haven't made
No.
that an indication. Yeah, so I don't know how far it would go, but it would be interesting if at the end of it, the bad guys were to win. Like that would be a big statement on how the creators feel about the world as a whole. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, they do like so. This is not the first series that Seth Rogen has produced, comic book series. He did Preacher as well, and I would say even though Preacher didn't work the last couple of seasons that they did, that first season was excellent. But even in the way that they approached the show and how like grounded the show is, like this one is, he did a very good job of like making you believe that this is possible. If these things were in place, that this could be possible. And that's what the boys are. If we had superheroes, you're not going to get a Justice League. You're not going to get an Avengers. If we had superheroes, it might be closer to this. And that's scary.
Yeah. We didn't get a date. It just said it's coming soon, so that's good. I can't wait. I'm down. This definitely sold me, and I would say anybody who hasn't seen Gen B, check that out. It's a good spinoff and does do a lot of tie-ins into the main show. So, yeah.
Okay. I may finish it.
That's
Before the end of the
interesting.
season,
So you
before
said
the-
you may finish it, so it just didn't hook you enough to keep you going.
No. I'm sorry. I may start it and finish it before the holiday season. It's just,
Okay.
it's not that I don't want to watch it. It's just like I've been in a place right now where I'm like, the world's on fire. Let me watch something.
Happy? You want to watch some
Yeah.
Bluey?
Actually, my kids are not in the Bluey. Like they dip in and out, but right now they've been in the Bubble Guppies.
Okay.
So we've been watching
Hey
a
man,
lot of
Bubble
that.
Guppies
Had no
is
idea.
hot. What time is it? It's time for lunch.
Had no idea what that show was until about two weeks ago.
Bubble
They've
Guppies
been
got some good
watching,
songs. Yeah. All
So,
right,
yeah.
folks. Y'all know where to find us. Like, comment, subscribe here on the YouTube page. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Threads, all the places. We trying y'all. Nerded by Nature Productions. And because we're putting this out before the Game Awards, we will be streaming live that Thursday. Come to our YouTube channel. Check us out. Have fun with us. We'll start streaming at least by 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, maybe a little bit earlier. I'll start first. Leroy will join in. It'll be fun. Until next time, we out.